Welcome to News Mongolia, where we bring you the latest stories and updates from across the nation and beyond. I'm Batsirin Namshar. On the News Mongolia today, a partnership agreement was signed between Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade of Australian Embassy in Mongolia and GIZ for the Cooperative Technical and Vocational Education and Training 2 project. A Science Café has been opened in Darkhan-Uul province to promote science. MIAT, Mongolian Airlines and UNICEF sign Memorandum of Understanding to advance child rights in Mongolia. For the news, stay tuned. Today, a significant milestone in the realm of education and training was reached as the Cooperative Technical and Vocational Education and Training 2 project witnessed the official signing of a partnership agreement between the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade of Australian Embassy in Mongolia and the German International Development Cooperation Agency.
Today, a significant partnership was solidified between the Australian Embassy and the German International Development Cooperation Agency in support of Mongolia's technical and vocational education and training sector. This collaboration marks the beginning of the Cooperative Technical and Vocational Education and Training 2 project, succeeding the initial project facilitated by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development in close partnership with Mongolia's Ministry of Education and Science.
The project is really critical to support the TVET sector reform. It's going to focus on particularly 4 key areas to enhance the quality of the TVET sector. And the first is to enhance the performance-based budgeting and incentive system for the TVET institutions. It's going to support the gender sensitivity of the facilities. It's going to enhance and strengthen the dual training or the apprenticeship model here. So really strengthening that connection between the TVET system, the institutions and the business and the private sector. And finally, we're going to look to develop some renewable energy transition models. So helping Mongolia on its pathway to transition to renewable energy, which we think these are skills for the future. TVET plays a really critical role in economic development and meeting the labour market needs, and so this is the ultimate outcome of this project, to really help the youth of Mongolia acquire skills and acquire the confidence that they need to thrive in this future Mongolia economy.
Representing their respective governments, the Australian Ambassador to Mongolia, Ms. Katie Smith, and Mr. Jürgen Hartwig, Deputy Country Director, along with Ms. Oyona Dembiniam, Manager of the Cooperative Technical and Vocational Education and Training 2 project for German International Development Cooperation Agency, signed the partnership agreement. The project's current focus lies in reforming Mongolia's vocational training system by introducing performance-based funding mechanisms and integrating vocational training into technical schools and companies.
We have, based on the agreements between the both governments, Germany and Mongolia, we have started with the new project on the support of the financial mechanisms for supporting an output-based TVET system, and also on introduction of the so-called dual vocational education and training, which means that students are being trained in the companies and at the school at the same time, and that industry has a voice in development of training programs and also in training the students at the companies with the in-company instructors. So now, with the support from Australia, which is joining this cooperation again, we have the chance to add 2 more topics to our cooperation, which is the gender-based learning environment, an inclusive learning environment for every student, no matter whether male or female, also especially in technical trades and also in the area of renewable energies, training for renewable energy. So this is the second topic that we can add with the support of Australia, thanks to the generous contribution they are making to this joint program, Mongolia, Germany and Australia now.
The Australian government's substantial contribution of 2.4 million Australian dollars, alongside 2 million euros from the German government, underscores their commitment to developing market-oriented training programs in renewable energies within Mongolia's technical and vocational education and training landscape. This funding will also facilitate the creation of a gender-sensitive learning environment, enhancing the project's impact and sustainability over the next 2 years, starting from July 1st, 2024.
Darkhan-Uul province now has a Science Café, a place where you can delve into the mysterious of science, expand your knowledge, and engage in stimulating conversations, all while enjoying coffee shop services.
The Science Café in the Darkhan-Uul province is divided into 5 main areas: a coffee shop, a VR room, a study area, a relaxation area, and a designer maker space. From floor to ceiling, everything in this cafe is designed to immerse customers in the world of science. It was previously a simple lecture hall, but has since been transformed. Our cafe menu is uniquely themed around the periodic table. For instance, our mango bubble tea is listed under the periodic table element magnesium, and each of our products is named after an element from the periodic table. We add a butterfly FedEx pH indicator to our lemonade to detect the acidity of the environment. When ready to drink, it changes color. Everyone is welcome to come in and gain an understanding of science here. You can learn about science in a way that interests you, regardless of your background or level of expertise. Students with a passion for the natural sciences such as chemistry, physics, and geography organize and manage this cafe. Among them is Tuksoyot, who has been fascinated by science since primary school. He now dedicates himself to sparking children's interest in the marvels of science, furthering his hobby.
This game requires balance on a single point, embodying a fundamental law of the universe despite its apparent simplicity. For a visual demonstration of electricity, hold a light bulb near it to observe the flow of electrons. In this game, randomness reigns as electrons within an atom move in any direction, existing in multiple places simultaneously.
When serving at the Science Café, if you can solve physics and math problems on the board correctly, you will receive an Americano coffee as a gift.
This part is dedicated to experimentation. Experiments can be conducted in this section. These microscopes are from the 19th century. Because the light microscope operates using sunlight, we use electronic microscopes in this cafe.
Located on the first floor of the Mongolian University of Life Sciences in the Darkhan-Uul province, this Science Café will remain open during the students' summer vacation.
You're watching News Mongolia. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs. MIAT, Mongolian Airlines, a state-owned national airline of Mongolia, signed a memorandum of understanding with UNICEF to support UNICEF's work for children in the country. Through this memorandum, MIAT and UNICEF will work together to promote child-friendly business principles in the airline industry, as well as transporting critical supplies to remote areas during emergencies. MIAT also will provide opportunities to raise awareness and funds through its flights for UNICEF's work in Mongolia. UNICEF works closely with private sector partners to promote and protect child rights in Mongolia through creating joint innovations, promoting child-friendly business, and advocating on critical child rights issues. UNICEF representative Evariste Kwasi-Kalman says, as a leading national airline and national flag carrier, MIAT creates an opportunity to reach every passenger with knowledge of child rights. That's a remarkable example of advocating for child rights. Meanwhile, Mr. Butted, Chief Commercial Officer of MIAT, states that as a state-owned company, MIAT aspires to work for the sustainable development and contribute to development of the country. Civil aviation company Essence Airways will begin direct flights on the Ulaanbaatar-Prague route next month. The Ministry of Road Transport Development has set the target of cheap and affordable air tickets in the air transport sector and is focusing on increasing the number and frequency of international as well as domestic flights. To make this a reality, Essence Airways will operate flights on the Ulaanbaatar-Prague route twice a week, on Wednesdays and Saturdays starting from July 10, 2024. Essence Airways is a member of the International Air Transport Association. In particular, the company received its certificate of membership of the association during the 80th International Air Transport Association Summit held last week in Dubai. A soloist of the Mongolian State Academic Theatre of Opera and Ballet, Mongol received a special prize at the International Vocalist Competition named after Bulbul held in the capital of Azerbaijan, Baku. More than 150 professional opera singers from 18 countries took part in this competition. Soloist of the Mongolian State Academic Theatre of Opera and Ballet, Bue Batar, Mongol and concertmaster Ortnasing participated on behalf of Mongolia. This competition was first organized in Baku in 1997 by order of the President and National Leader of Azerbaijan, Haydar Aliyev. Subsequently, it grew into a traditional competition of international opera singers named after the famous Azerbaijani tenor pips artist, laureate of the USSR State Prize, Professor Bulbul. The State Second Central Hospital is implementing a project to improve neurosurgical equipment and surgical care. The hospital doctors approached the Rotary Club of Hure with a request to implement this project and decided to jointly implement it within the framework of the International Global Grant Project. As part of the project, precision surgical instruments with a total value of $95,988 were donated. The Rotary Club of Hure in Mongolia, the Rotary Club of Lambarovsky, 3 Rotary Clubs of South Korea, and 1 Rotary Club of Japan, and 2 Korean International Rotary Districts are jointly implementing this project with further financial support from the World Rotary Foundation. The implementation of the project will lead to the introduction of new surgical methods, improvement in existing surgical techniques, and in the quality of medical care, as well as shorten the waiting time for operations. In Mongolia, the average annual incidence of suffering a stroke is about 290 per 100,000 people. At the same time, the mortality rate reaches 49 per 100,000 people, making Mongolia one of the countries with the highest incidence of strokes in the world. Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Goodbye.